want to introduce Brett Curtis. Brett and his wife Karen have 5 children, and they've worked for Youth with a Mission, more commonly known as YWAM, for 36 years. Their time included 20 years with Mercy Ships. They have worked in over 70 nations with their medical ship responsibilities. Brett is the president of YWAM Ships, and he's currently based in Kona, Hawaii. Brett?
Thank you, everybody. It's good to be with you. Thank you, Jim, for that introduction. I love what I do. My wife and I have been doing this 36 years, and I think today we are enjoying ourselves more than we ever have before. We just love what we're up to. Youth with a Mission is committed to taking the gospel of Jesus to everyone, even if it's a hard-to-reach place. Jesus walked the earth 2,000 years ago, and he healed the sick, and he spoke of the kingdom. And then he said, I want you to go to the uttermost. Have you ever thought about how that gets done? YWAM Ships is committed to reaching those who are in the most difficult to reach isolated islands on planet Earth. That's why we have ships. In the Pacific alone, there's 1,100 inhabited islands. 900 of them have no airstrip, no airport, no bridge, no road connecting them. And we're in the middle of a God story at the moment I want to tell you about. 1 year ago, we had 1 ship. Today, we've got 27. Something popped when we said yes to the isolated. Something happened to us and all of our family and friends and supporters when we said, we'll go to the difficult places. It doesn't matter how many live there. I think this unfolding story is because we're reaching out and we're touching something that's very precious to God. I want to tell you about this boat. The one of the 27, it's like a piece of the pizza. The other pizza pieces are the same. So I'll just give you we'll drill down into one. Like the others, all these ships have been donated to us. This was given to us by P&O Cruise Ships. This is the YWAM Liberty. She's beautiful. This medical ship is serving over 80,000 people a year. How does it work? You're saying, well, that's great. I'm celebrating with you, but can you unpack this, how it works? And of course, I'd be happy to. We go by invitation. So the government, the First Lady, the Prime Ministers of a land will say, would you come? And so we go there and we connect with them and write an MOU out and a protocol of agreement that says this is what we'll do if this is what you can do. And then all of a sudden there's this 5-year invitation to a nation. It's important that you go by invitation. You can't sneak a ship in the back door. You got to go in the front door. You got to go from the government level to the local provincial level down to the local chiefs. They've all got to get connected with, and they've all got to open their front door for you. It's important. So what we do is we ask them, where do you want us to go? Because they know, right? We don't know. And I think sometimes in the past of missions, we've had an arrogance that said, oh, we've got the answers, we know where to go, you listen to us. But we come alongside them and we say, can we help you, help your people? Just climb on board our ship and we'll carry you to the places that you can't reach. And boy, do they love it. And so what we have to do is we have to find a place that's got an airport, an airstrip, so that we can come next to that and you can get on a plane from San Diego or LA and fly into this location, climb aboard, and then we can go off for 2 weeks to an isolated location. So you jump on board with crew that are already there. They're there 2 years minimum, as crew are for YWAM, and nobody gets paid to do this. We're all volunteers. And so you might be a medical team or a general volunteer. You don't have to be medical to do this. And then we add you to the mix. And so you climb on board, and we give you some orientation. This is the lifeboat you get into if you hear the siren. And here's how you do your mission work. And by mid to late afternoon, we're sailing. And we'll go off next to an airport. And we go We go off next to an isolated island that you won't even find on a map. In fact, most of the places we go, there's no marine charts because they haven't charted the waters. So we've got to put a little fish finder in a boat that goes ahead of us that says this is how deep it is. And they're calling back to the bridge, say go left, go right. There's no charts where we go. These places are absolutely isolated. We went to Lib Island in the Marshalls. We went to Washington Island in just south of Hawaii, and they said, you're the fourth ship that has come for the whole year. These people don't have anyone showing up. And so we get in our little zodiac in that red spot. You can see there's about 12 missionaries on that little thing, and just ahead of it is some trees. There's 800 people living in a village there. And so for the week, we ministered to them. Sometimes they came out to say, g'day. Can you say, g'day, mate? That's what we do in New Zealand. It doesn't matter how many there are, we're committed to go there. Now, what does a normal day look like? So you get on board. We will have breakfast at about 7. We'll gather together at 8 o'clock for about half an hour, get our game together, get the instructions for the day, and then we jump on our minivan, and we go down I-5. This is our commute to work every day. Isn't that better than I-5? And then you get on the off-ramp, and you get out of your car, and you walk across the parking lot, and you go to work. But what are you met with? You're met with people that are very excited about you showing up. They come out in their Sunday best, and they'll sing songs, and they'll welcome you, and then they'll sit all day and listen to you. What a great opportunity to explain why you came. You come from time zones away, you're not being paid, and they sit there and say, why did you do this? This is the two hands of the gospel. This is healing the sick, and this is explaining what the kingdom is all about. And so what you do is you set up in the middle of the village. This is the dental clinic under a tree in the shade. Next to it's probably the medical, and then the optical, and then the immunizations, and then the Jesus film, and then all of these things. And you've got a big circle of activity all day long, and you go back on board the ship about 4 o'clock to have a nice dinner and a nice bed, and you get up and do it again in the morning. You could do that, couldn't you? Couldn't you come with some of your sons and daughters or some guys from work? The places we go are pretty rough. Bougainville and PNG, there's 350,000 people, not one dentist, so every mouth you open more than likely has never seen a dentist before. We have a captivated audience. They watch all day long. And I tell you what, the relief of pain by pulling teeth is incredible. The infection affects the whole body. How many of you have had infection and had an abscessed tooth? Man, when I get a toothache, and it's a little toothache, my whole day stops, and I want to get to the dentist, and he better be ready for me. You know, we're not used to this. Opening your mouth not too long ago, there were 8 teeth that had been broken off by this lady because she had a huge abscess pain. A little girl, 12, used to hold a hanky in front of her mouth because she had horrible teeth. And so we got to restore. Immunizations, so important. We go to places where they have no immunizations. A little boy showed up with leprosy. You don't have to have leprosy in 2019. You don't have to have a simple thing like tetanus take your little girl's life the next day after this. Most of these things are got to us because of bad water. And so this little $35 Sawyer filter, you put it in a bucket, and a family can have clean drinking water their entire life. An unhealthy family is an unproductive family. A healthy family can go to school and can go to work, but an unhealthy one staying home from work, and when you don't work, you don't eat too good. You know all kinds of things that you don't have to get trained in. This is Brandon. He's from Canada. He's just talking about why germs and why clean water and why do you use soap. There's just simple things, and it makes a huge difference. This is an outdoor classroom. Could you see your college-age daughter or son doing that? Easy. Healthy mom checkups. They come in the morning. They're called pickaninnies. They're little kids. They line up. Some of these girls are not very old. Now, what about your glasses? How many glasses do you have sitting in your drawer at home you're not using anymore? Consider giving them to us, please, because we can take them on these outreaches. Give them to the Lions Club. We collect them from Lions. In fact, put that on the response form. I got glasses, and we'll give you a place to bring them. When we do optical, the surgeon, he gets involved and says, okay, this guy's got a cataract, and we can do surgeries on board, so we bring him back on the inflatable boat that's always at anchor. And this is a cataract, one that you usually see in P&G, not a little one that's, we run to the doctor quickly if we get a little cloudy. These guys can't see a thing. So lie down on, this is Willie, meet Willie. He said, Willie, lie down on the table. He goes, where is it? He couldn't see a thing. Here he is the morning after with all his mates lining up. We did 26 surgeries that day, and what they do is they take the patch, and they take it off, and they irrigate it, and he's blinking like crazy, and then all of a sudden, boom, he sees me. Oh. Imagine that. He'd probably want his cataract back. When you are kind, you lend to the Lord. That's true. It doesn't take much to talk about Jesus. Just stand up wherever you are, and you've got a crowd. They will wait. Last year, we saw massive amounts of people coming to Christ, unprecedented levels of people. They go, oh, I get it. They'll stand all day in the sun. This little beautiful thing is a little Wi-Fi hotspot that runs off a battery, and before we go for the day, we load the Jesus film in their mother tongue. We load Bibles in their mother tongue. And we load PDFs of all kinds of things. And they get it, and we say, everyone, hold your phone up. And they all get it, and they go, okay, look for the Wi-Fi hotspot called YWAM Wi-Fi. And they click on it, and all of a sudden you got people watching the Jesus film. This is granddad showing his grandkids. And they go home and they swap it with their family and their friends, and you come back a year later, everybody's got it. It's like a Holy Ghost virus. We have drive-thrus. They're island style. We share the Jesus film on the side of the ship. It's a great big white ship, so it works really well. But what a privilege. Now, I want to tell you, for these people, we have an amazing new future, because out of the 27 ships that we've been given, the last 2 can carry containers. So our future is bright, but now we've got containers that can carry all kinds of innovative tools we never could before carry with us. We can put classrooms together with solar panels that create all kinds of electricity and connection by satellite for doing classrooms. We can start preschool, start them earlier. We can put medical clinics and birthing suites together. Do you know most of the women in these islands give birth in the bush because they think it's better for their baby to get healthier, and they end up with infections, and 1 in 5 die during childbirth? Imagine if they could get one of these on their island. We have dental clinics and x-ray labs. I'm going fast because I'm out of time. I saw that 5 minutes. Wood shops, engineering labs. Imagine if you could pull together whatever you want to put in a container. What do you want? Anything we can dream now. We figure out what they need and we can put it in the container. Now, I know out of a room like this with all you executives, you have been trained and educated to think outside the box. Probably very well. I want to propose a new question for you. Let's think inside the box. What could you put in a container that the people in these places need? Easy, huh? Okay, here's how it worked for that one ship. We saw 289 volunteers come. We went to 104 different villages. We served over 80,000 people with medical services and almost 14,000 non-medical services. And you would say, well, that's amazing. Now, if you were someone really rich, like Bill Gates, and he said, oh, that's amazing, I'd like to do that. What would it take? Well, let me tell you, Bill. People work for free, so there's no payroll to meet every 2 weeks. People give us things for free, like medical supplies and such forth. The services are given at no charge and for dockage and tugs, and the government waive immigration issues and custom issues and make sure your medical licenses are free. When you put all that together in a big blender and you press the button, bzz, what comes out the other end is an amazing transformation, because the little bit of cash then that you give us, we can go to 4 to 1 in the field. We can squeeze out of that tube 4 times the value of every dollar that's given to us, because all the rest of that is donated to us. And everyone, like myself as the CEO, all the way to the brand new cook that will join us next week, we all cover our own salaries. We raise it from our own friends and family. That's how this works. Here's how you can help us. We have grown so fast, we need to shore up. We need to get stronger. We need bench strength in several areas. Let me tell you about that. And plus, would you consider tonight, as you sit there, would you consider coming? You can come for 2 weeks. Fly in. Now, you have to stay 2 weeks unless you're a really good swimmer, because where we go, you can't get a plane home. There's no airport. So come with us for 2 weeks and then consider. It's good to walk and pray on the land that you're going to invest in, right? Come see that with us. Come and help us. Donate your glasses. If you've got skill in the area, we need help in the area of CFO, finance, IT, HR, and grant writing right now. Introduce us. Perhaps you could say, hey, well, I'd love you to come to my house, and we'll gather a few friends, and we'll let you play your video on our screen TV, and you can show and tell and get some of my friends excited, because I got some doctor friends, or I've got a mariner friend who's used to be an engineer, or something like that. If you've got people in your network, I would love to have us come and connect with you that way. You can donate, you can pray, you can send supplies, and maybe even your company could say, okay, we'll send a container. We've got the designs ready to go, and you can actually get it built or have it built on behalf of your company, because we'd love to see how we could impact these islands for Jesus, the places no one else is going. Would you help us? Thank you, Jim.
What are you guys doing next July? Who wants to go with me to some remote island in July? Come on. There's a lot of hands there. All right, so write that down. If you're on page 41, write down July with Jim to some remote island, all right? Page 41, fill that out now. I'm serious as a heart attack. Come on, Bill. I know you're going. Father, I just thank you for the vision that you've given Brett to use these ships and to reach people that are almost unreachable, Lord, but yet you want them touched not just with medical and with dental and with other things that they desperately need, but you want them touched with your Son, Jesus Christ, and that you've brought people around them to provide these ships, to provide these services, to donate 2 years out of their life to come into those ships and work as doctors and nurses to touch those people. Pray, Lord, that there might be people in this room that are, interested in going on one of these trips to see what it's like to walk and to meet these people where they live. And we just lift this up to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ.